This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the Vice President of Exploration for Q2 Metals, Mr. Neil McCallum. Neil, how are you today?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I'm well. Listen, next to Patriot Battery Metals, Q2 Metals is, I believe, my second or third largest lithium holding. And we talked a bit off air and talked about the upcoming drilling season. And I want to get to that here in a bit, but we talked about how we think this summer is going to be the summer that we should have had last year, right? And so I want to get into the last couple of news releases. You announced assay results from the MIA property, and then obviously you completed the drill core reevaluation for the Cisco Lithium property. Let's start with MIA. Tell me about the results and just how you and the company felt about MIA and the path forward there.
Of course, yeah. So MIA is an interesting project. It's definitely a puzzle that we're unraveling as we go. I think that there's a certain amount of expectations that were set maybe a year ago at the outset, just given the amount of strike length we have on the trend. And it's up until the drill program before you really know what you have. So what we have there is not a, Corvette CV5 scale discovery at this point, but I wouldn't consider it disappointing results, even though it's not up to par compared to some others in James Bay. I'll say maybe yet. What we have so far is good when you compare it to other lithium exploration projects across the country. When you look at Manitoba and WT on Ontario, it's along that scale of results for widths and grades. So we have defined a nice little zone that we're going to be building out there. And there's always the potential, being in James Bay, that it could be better. Excellent. But I think that goes back to the comment you made about it being the summer we should have had last year. Because of the forest fires last year, we were unable to get to the project pretty much all summer until September, and then we launched right into the drill program. So we have a lot more room to go on the project to potentially make some new and significant discoveries along the larger portions of the property. So that's going to be an exciting part of what we're going to announce pretty soon.
Excellent. Well, I'm looking forward to that. I know the last time we spoke, you mentioned that you're definitely receptive to finding a good partner that can advance that property. Is that still the case, being that you're, about to get on the ground here at Cisco, which of course everybody is excited about?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be, Cisco is definitely getting our attention. However, we're going to be doing work at MIA, and if we want to partner with somebody on that, that's options that we're looking at as well. But I think there's a lot of room to improve what we found so far at MIA, just given things being so early stage and not spending as much time on the ground as we would have liked to, given the situation last year. So I'm pretty happy with these results so far. So
let's talk about the completion of drill core reevaluation. I had a good, respectful, which is awesome always when you can have a good, respectful dialogue on Twitter with someone the other day that follows the company, early shareholder, in at higher prices. And we talked about the potential of Cisco, and there was some back and forth about the 100+ meters of in that hole 5. And I want to be clear, the company has always made it clear that wasn't continuous, it was cumulative. And so I want to stress that up front here in the interview. But look, when you have the kind of that kind of early success with those first 6 drill holes, you have to be excited about getting on the ground there. Neil, tell me a little bit about the approach and just how the team is feeling about getting out there.
Oh, yeah, no, there's an incredible amount of excitement for our group to get to Cisco. Just knowing that we've really only scratched the surface on those drill holes. The first 3, unfortunately, that were drilled by the property vendor were in the wrong direction. It's always hard to know how these pegmatites dip when you're looking at them from surface, especially when they're so large, because you don't have that contact relationship oftentimes with the host rock at surface. So they, it's 50-50. They went the wrong direction, and then they followed up the last 3 holes of the program in the correct direction and pulled out some really interesting results. They didn't even finish that wider interval. It ended in mineralized spodumene-bearing pegmatite. So, and of course, we verified that. We knew that from looking at the holes on our due diligence. But there's even potential, I think, for some of those other holes, like hole 5 that was along the same drill pad. It didn't have a lot of pegmatite near the end of the hole, but I think that there's a potential that there was another pegmatite that they hadn't even reached yet. So there's a lot of potential for increasing the value of the Cisco project as well with more work. And on top of that, it's a similar story as Mia, that the property vendors really just scratched the surface in one small area on that project and didn't yet test the entire potential of the trend all the way along the property. So that one's wide open for additional pegmatite zones that we can follow with drilling as well as the currently drilled zone.
When do you anticipate getting on the ground, Neil? I mean, I think, at current prices, the stock presents a pretty compelling speculation if you believe, like I believe, that the lithium price is going to slowly but surely continue to rebound and that there's going to be exploration success. The other thing that stood out to me about hole 5 is the fact that it starts at 3 meters, right? It's relatively shallow. And so that's got me really, really excited. How do you see it playing out here over the next several months? When do we get to actually drilling?
Absolutely. We're going to be on the ground as soon as we can. There's some, local hunting and fishing, trapping that's happening near the property. The goose hunting that the local First Nations holds in high esteem. So we have to respect that, and we will. So we'll be on the ground as soon as we can and getting drills ready. We'll announce a full program update on what the plans are. But that's as much as I'll say now. But we're obviously very excited. And, to that point of the share price, since acquiring the project, I think because we haven't had much news, there's a little bit of interest that's waned, and that's unfortunate, but it just represents, I think, an opportunity for people to get back into the shares on the market and in anticipation of work within the next couple of months here.
No, look, and I couldn't agree more. And again, let me be transparent. I am completely biased. I wrote a check at 10 cents. I then wrote a check at 25 cents. And then I wrote a check at 50 cents. Happy to hold all those shares and happy to write another check if the opportunity comes up. Hopefully at higher prices. That's always the game plan, right? But I am most definitely looking to see an Mia, potentially joint ventured or advanced, and absolutely thrilled to see what Cisco is able to deliver. Anything else you want to add to that, Neil?
No, nothing else to add. Yeah, no, I just, we can't be more excited about Cisco.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that update. Looking forward to getting you back on here when we get some more concrete details on drilling at Cisco. Thank you, Neil.
Good.
All right.
Let's do it.
Cheers.
Bye.
Hey everybody, Gerardo Del Real here. If you're enjoying the content that you just saw, you can let us know in 3 simple steps. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please share across your network and on social media. Take care, everybody.